so that I can record this. Good. Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're well. Hope you're fantastic. My name is Gavin. So welcome to lunch. And I'm happy that everybody has logged on today. Yeah, so for those who are joining us for the first time, normally I do this. We actually have dinners most of the time. So I thought today let's try out this lunch and see how it goes. So yeah, I hope that everybody will be enjoying it as much as we are going to enjoy it. So yeah, so the whole objective is really around discussing issues around wealth. Normally, when we talk about wealth, it seems like a big concept where, you don't know whether you're on the right track, you're on the wrong track, what you should be doing to really build wealth. So we try and break it down. So we've done a lot of things. Okay, no, Mr. Team, I think maybe is everybody else can everybody hear me? If maybe can comment on the chat box. Everybody can hear me. Okay, I think Mr. Mtima, maybe try earphones. It also maybe helps at times. All right, cool. So yeah, so as I was saying that, we try to then break down this concept. So we've spoken around family, we've spoken around money, because normally when you define this concept, I think everybody has their own kind of definition. So with these, dinners or these lunches, we try to then just to break down the components of creating wealth. So yeah, so if you maybe want to check out the dinners that we have had, you can go to my YouTube channel. It's titled Gav Talks Property and Finances. Gav Talks Property and Finances. So you can be able to check out the dinners that we have done there. We talked about property investing. We spoke about on Thursday, we had Mr. Matiba and Osremi. We're talking about asset distribution and taxation in marriages. It was hot. And yeah, so you can check out that episode and all the other episodes as well. So please go and check it out. And then next week, we're going to have, I don't know whether it's going to be a dinner or it's going to be a lunch, but we will be talking about property investing specifically for Stockfells. And I'll be joined by an amazing and incredible lady who is a town planner. So she'll be talking about zonings, when do you zone, especially talking about multi-lets and all of that stuff. What do you do? So she will be able to, take us through all of that. So please be on the lookout for that poster. So we just want to see whether we're going to do the dinner or maybe still do the lunch like today. So we just want to, deliberate on that. And please be on the lookout for that. So yeah, cool. Before we get into the swing of things, I just want to remind you that my book, Financial Planning for What, it's available. It's on sale. It's only 160 Rand around Pretoria, or 200 Rand if I need to courier it to you. Please get it. It's hot. Talking about black tax, talking about property investing, talking about the difference between debt consolidation and debt cancelling, talking about relationship and finances. So a lot of things there that I'm talking about. So please make sure that you hit me up on 074 412 7614 so that you can be able to get yourself a copy. So yeah, so today I'm excited. I'm really excited because I have an amazing lady who's joining me today. We'll be talking about home loans. Home loans. Property is one of those important things when we talk about building wealth. So home loans for me, it's a critical component of building wealth. So we need to be able to talk about it. What are the things that we can do to simplify this process? So that is why we are here today. So yeah, so I want to welcome with the big sound, Joelene Solomon. Welcome, Joelene. How are you doing?
Thank you, Gavin.
We'll hit the table. Are you well?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I am fantastic. I'm fantastic. Sorry, man, we can't be able to see you. But as I said, I think people have seen you the whole week through the 2 days that we have been posting. But yeah, the show goes on. Now, before we get to the swing of things, can you just give us just a little bit in terms of who are you and what do you do?
Okay, I'm Joelene Solomon, as Gavin said. I am a finance property consultant for SA Home Loans. Yeah, and that's me. That's what I do.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic. Fantastic. And how has been your Sunday?
Oh, do you want to know the truth or must I lie? Stressed out, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's good.
Okay.
It was good.
All right. Cool. Right. Yeah. Let's get into it, Jolene. Now, I think first things first. I mean, COVID-19 came unexpectedly, and it caused havoc. And yeah, I think we're still feeling the effects. Now, from your side, obviously dealing with bond applications and all of that stuff. What effects have you seen, through COVID, whether it's indirect and direct? What are the things that you've picked up from the bond application side?
Okay, I don't know. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, no, we can. Loud and clear.
Okay. Okay. So I agree that COVID has definitely played a major impact, whether it's directly or indirectly. And unfortunately, the sad part that when clients are directly impacted by COVID, nobody knew about this epidemic, firstly, or what the results would be.
Yeah.
However, it doesn't mean that it's the end of the road for some clients, as each client is accredited differently and certain procedures would have to take place for them to proceed with their bond application.
Yeah. All right. Okay, cool. And then maybe just, obviously from the side of maybe somebody who want to, first time buyer, and they're trying to get into buying property, whether it's investment, whether it's primary home. I mean, that process can be very daunting. So what are the things that as a first time buyer, some of the things that I should know, maybe to just take out that anxiety aspect of applying for a bond?
Okay, so buying for the first time is intimidating. It's scary and an emotional one too.
Yeah.
Okay. One needs to take the affordability into account. So my advice when looking for a property, first go to a consultant, get your pre-approval first, make sure that your affordability is in line, and then you can go along and check for a property. With first-time buyers, I personally do it differently.
Okay.
So I treat these clients like babies. So I go through each step of the way with the client together.
Yeah.
And just to break down, like for instance, how important affordability and the credit score is when purchasing a property, that you need to maintain that score and the affordability at the end of the day as well.
Yeah. Now you touched on something very, very important, credit score. I mean, I did a financial sermon the other day, just talking about how important the credit score is. Now, maybe just to, maybe going back to where we are currently with COVID-19. I mean, you have people that maybe have gotten salary cuts at work. Some may even have lost their jobs, and maybe gotten another job. And now they want to then, apply again for a bond. What are some of the things that one can do in order to boost the credit score?
Okay, so in order to boost your credit score, number one is pay your accounts on time, guys, because paying one day late definitely is a disadvantage to you. Having too many credit checks done all at once, like in the space of a few months, that also drops your score tremendously. Nobody actually knew that these payday loans, those take a lot of points off your credits. And in order for to sustain your credit score, pay your current debts on time and make sure that you are maintaining that payment record.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So these holidays actually have a major impact in our, but I mean, these are the things that banks give to us. Why would it then affect us again in that aspect?
Exactly. Because I don't think people are aware that an ITC check is done when you do a payday loan from FNB, for instance. Even if you have to do a payday loan a few months ago, it will still reflect on your ITC. So yes, that has a big major impact.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
So stay away from payday loans if you want to purchase a home, guys.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Now, Joelene, maybe just touching on this point. I mean, I'm in the property investment space, and you talk to people on a daily basis, and refinancing as a concept, normally comes up. And I think a lot of people don't really know what refinancing is. So if then you can break it down, when we talk about refinancing property, what exactly are we talking about?
Okay, so refinancing is basically raising funds from your already paid up bond. Okay, most times a person can either access money once it's 50% of the bond that's paid, or the bond that's paid in full. Now, this money that you are drawing from, it can be any amount. It can be used to either consolidate debts,
Okay.
it can be used to renovate your property, or go on holiday if need be. So yes, if your property has equity, then definitely refinancing is the way to go.
Okay. So now, when you talk about equity, is it what are we talking about? We're talking about
equity would obviously be, let's say, for instance, you bought your house 20 years ago, for instance. Yeah. Obviously, a house is the biggest asset, okay, to refinance and to get money out of it. Yeah. So equity, it builds equity with the years that goes by. Okay. So you can use that, in collateral to pay off debts or renovations or holiday or whatever need be.
Oh, okay. So it's basically just money that is sitting there that over the years I've paid, and then I can go and reuse that again.
No. So no, you're getting it wrong. So refinancing is obviously going through the whole refinance, like the whole application again. So starting a bond all over again. Yeah. What you're speaking about is like an access bond. No. Oh. Refinancing, you can use the money that you can draw from, however amount you want. And you can use that money even to use as a deposit for a new investment home. Okay.
All right. Wonderful. Yeah, because I think, most of the time this word keeps on popping up a lot of the times, and, it really becomes unclear. I think that's another thing that I've seen, pops up a lot, is this subsidy thing. We hear about the government subsidy, and we don't really know what this thing. I think it's called flips or something like that. Can you just take us through what exactly is this thing, man? Can I qualify? What's going on with this subsidy?
Okay, so FLISP, yes, I must agree. A lot of people are not aware of FLISP. Okay, yeah. It is a government subsidy. Yeah. To motivate, to credit a qualified application. Okay. So FLISP, depending on your salary bracket, you'll get a certain amount. Now, please be in mind that it starts from 3,500 Rand to 22,000. So in those brackets, you'll get a certain amount of money, which will go towards a deposit. All right. And it is you apply with the NHFC. They are in charge of FLISP. Everybody that has not purchased a home before qualifies for FLISP. If you are in those brackets, the salary brackets.
So if I have purchased the property before, then I can't qualify? Unfortunately
not, eh?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's for first-time buyers.
It's for first-time buyers. All right. Yes. Okay. So within that salary bracket, then I can be able to access that.
Correct. There
subsidy.
is a website that guys would like, if you guys would like to actually go and check it
Please.
out. So it's the
Yeah.
FLIS website. There's a calculator on there as well. You'll put your gross salary.
Yeah.
And that is the amount that actually comes up that you can use as a deposit.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. I don't know if you can share that website, or is it just the flip?
www.
Yeah.
flisp.co.za.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Now, Jolene, when it comes to the different entities, because I think that's another a thing as well. I think I'm also guilty because now we confuse people when we're talking about property investing. Do you buy in your name? Do you buy in a company? So I think then one can be very, very confused in terms of which one is the best one. But when we come to, in terms of, from the bank side or from the financial institution side, when you guys are then doing, obviously the affordability checks and all of that stuff. Now, what are the different, firstly, are the different kind of processes from a qualification point of view between an individual capacity, a joint or company, and if they are, if maybe you can be able to run us through in terms of those.
Okay, so Gavin, there are different criteria that applies based on the risk. Okay, it ultimately all boils down to the income, earning, and affordability. Yeah. As an individual or a private person, they can do it on their own capacity, okay, as a legal entity. Yeah. When it comes to a company, for example, you could either do it on your own capacity or you can do it with a director if you are on the directorship board. But each one will be accredited at their own merits. Okay, all right. So now with then from the aspect now to say, okay, cool. Now, so when we talk about the salary aspect of it, from an individual basis, I would presume that you will look at me only. As a joint kind of application, how is that process going? If now the qualifying amount is maybe 30,000, do you guys then look at half, maybe 15 from both of these applicants? Is it that way? If I'm getting it right? So a joint application, it doesn't necessarily mean that you must earn 15 or the other person must earn 15. Okay. It boils down to the affordability, and whoever has the highest score, they will use that person's score and a salary to motivate the file. Okay. Oh, okay. So it will depend. So it doesn't necessarily have to be an equal amount. No. It doesn't have to be an equal amount. No. Yeah. Okay. All right. Fantastic. And I don't know if then when it comes to, in terms of the applications that you guys get, so I'm sure that you obviously get, people that will be married and all of that aspect. Do you think then in terms of when we married and the other one is not okay, how hectic is that from, affecting the bond application? Does it affect it a lot? Absolutely. It all depends on whether the couple are, if they married COP or ANC. If it's COP and the one partner has a terrible score, it's definitely gonna, it's definitely going to affect the application. That client will have to get their ITC in order, which I sit with my clients and I actually help them. Yeah. And then once it's back to normal or within our criteria, we can go ahead with the bond. Yeah. If it's an ANC, then it is not necessarily, it doesn't matter what the other partner's score is. Yeah. If it's a traditional, if you married Lobola, for instance, you're considered single. So your partner doesn't have to be on the bond. It doesn't have to be. Wonderful, wonderful. And because, I think maybe going back again to the credit score, and I see obviously with the question here, again, I think with regards to the credit score, it also becomes very
difficult then to know which credit score is good and which one is bad, you know.
Yeah.
In that aspect, which one would you say that, this one we can't even look at, you know, from that credit score kind of bracket?
Okay. I'm good. Okay, Gavin and I work for SA Home Loans, as you know, and we, with like governments, your score can be 600. Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas if you are a salaried client, it needs to be above that. So
Yeah.
it differs. Each client is accredited differently.
Yeah.
So I can't give you what is a good score and what is a bad score.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Because we also don't act well in this institution. We use a different system to get the score.
All right.
Yes,
So
we
the,
use
so the credit
TransUnion
checks
as
is
long
not the
as something
same.
else. Yes, yeah. Each financial institution, like the banks, accredit their clients differently.
Yeah.
So I can't give you a yes or no answer on that. But if your score is like 500 or 400, then forget about it.
That is bad.
Yes,
all right.
forget about it.
Yeah. So now from that aspect then, I mean, obviously maybe there might be somebody who's sitting at that point to say, you know, my credit is bad. Maybe just again, if we can just maybe little touch on maybe some of those things that one can do that can just boost in terms of that credit score so that they can also get a chance to get a bond.
Okay, so a bad credit score would obviously be that the client has not been making payments. So I would have to assess their credit reports and actually tell them what is wrong and how to fix it.
Yeah.
And then after 3 months, come back to me and then we can reassess it. Yeah. And it's not a guarantee that, yes, what I'm going to say will work. But at times it does work. It really does. And the score does increase. Yeah. I've had clients like that.
Okay. All right. So obviously, from what I'm picking up there is that I think firstly, the most important thing is that people need to actually, you know, go and get the credit profile and see what's going on there, and then be able to say, okay, which one of the things that I need to be fixing, so that they can be able to start. Because I think, I mean, speaking from my side, you know, when you know it was bad, and then now you're starting to try and get some credit, you know, even that credit profile can be daunting because now you see all of the things, now the history, you know, the judgments and defaults and becoming a problem, and then you don't want to look at it, you know, and I think that might be a problem on its own, that people don't want to look at that. And as you say, that's the first point of entry to be able to fix whatever is wrong in that aspect.
Okay, so firstly, if it's a debt review, that's a no-no, a big no-no. That has to come off firstly, okay?
Yeah. Right.
Then, if the client did have credit prior and obviously probably lost their job and didn't make any payments, then yes, I can sit with the person and we can sort that out, okay?
Okay.
Secondly, it wouldn't be advisable for too many people doing credit checks on one specific person because that drops your score.
Okay.
So rather stick to, if you're going to go with the bank and only let them deal with your ITC. Don't come to SA Home Loans or another financial institution, because then it will drop, because each time you do a credit check, your score drops.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in purchasing a home, rather go to the financial institution and let them do the check instead of you doing it. Yeah. Because that could also affect it. Yes.
All right. Okay. Because now I think maybe, obviously, hearing what you say, I mean, we can maybe also look at aspects of maybe shopping around in that aspect, you know, to different kind of banks and maybe looking for a better rate at that particular point. So
absolutely,
if now we then go, for example, with I'll put in a bond originator in the mix. Yes. Obviously, they would go to the different banks. So meaning that on its own is a problem on its own with regards to then the credit score. Will that be a proper analysis there.
Absolutely. All the banks, they do a credit check. That's the first step that we have to do, is a credit check. So it will be on there.
It will be. All right.
Yes, definitely.
So
definitely.
you tell me that there's no other way then, because maybe at this point I'm looking for a car, I'm looking for a house, I'm looking for something else as well. So
and you have a very good score, eh? You are sitting in the 700s. You're sitting in the 700s. Then there's no problem there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So there,
you
there
know,
won't be
like
any
I
way.
said, each client, it's different, Gavin. So
Yeah.
I can't pinpoint to a scenario because
Yeah.
each client is different. Accredited, totally different.
Yeah.
So yes, using a bond originator, it goes to all the banks. And yes, all the banks do a credit check, like I said, and it will reflect on your ITC.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Now I just wanted maybe to touch this. I don't know if you'll be able to maybe have an answer on this, because with regards to I call them the sins of the past, right? And maybe 5 years ago, I was not really okay, skipping, reversing, and all of that stuff. And then I paid those things. Does that still show in terms of the record, or is it more like my sins are forgiven and now we are good to go in terms of from now on?
Okay, if you've paid it all up, okay, and you've got letters, if it does still reflect on your ITC on TransUnion, for example, then paid up letters proving that you have paid it would be required.
Okay.
If it's not showing on there, then there's no need. However, if you are sequestrated, a court order would be needed, and you need to wait 12 months after being rehabilitated, and then you can apply for finance.
Okay, so you need to then wait for 12 months, and then you can apply again.
That's correct.
All right. So will this also obviously mean from a credit review point of view, if I've been under debt cancelling, then I will then have to, after being out of the credit cancelling, then I still need to then wait for that 12 months to go and apply for them?
No. So with debt, it's totally different.
Okay.
So debt review, once your name comes off, wait a month and then you'll get a score. Your score will, you will have a score. If you are on debt review, it shows as 0.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then you get a big warning saying debt review.
Okay.
But once you actually contact your administrator, and I don't know what the process is with the debt review administrator, but once your name is off, a score does generate.
It does generate. Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. And I also just want to touch here, Joelene. I mean, with regards to, because you also just get people who have just started working, and maybe they're also not sure whether to apply or not. Can one, apply for a bond? I mean, I just started working, I'm permanent. Do I need to get a credit, maybe an account first before I approach the banks, or can I just go and apply at the same time then I'll see what the outcome is? Or is there the period in which I need to wait for me to be able to go and apply for a bond?
Okay, so if the client knows that they've got no credit at all, okay, it would be in their best interest.
Yeah.
Back in the days, they said no score, no credits, you'll be able to get a house, a car, whatever. No.
Yeah.
You need to have a credit score in order for us to see your credit behavior, payments behavior.
Yeah.
All right. So in terms of your question of a newly employed person, firstly, we would obviously need to know if that person is on probation. Okay. Yeah. Which is normally 3 months. If the probation period has ended, an employment letter would be required stating that he is permanent and this is his gross salary.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So at least we can be able to cover that.
Yes.
I'll just go through the questions a little bit. So I think on this one, if you are married and were the primary applicant, can your husband be the first time Yeah, can your husband be the first-time home buyer and qualify for FLISP? So I think obviously you directed us to that website that one can
Yes,
yeah.
www.flisp.co.za.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yes.
No, I was actually going to answer that question. Yes, definitely your husband can be, the person's husband can be the main applicant.
Okay.
And if the wife doesn't work, she can still be on the bond,
Yeah.
but just as a non-contributor.
Oh, okay.
But an ITC check will be done on her as well.
All right. And just maybe on that, Joelene, if we are married in community of property, and the one spouse is not working, does that affect the application on its own?
It's like I said, because COP, everything has to be done. So checks and everything on both applicants. And if the partner that isn't working has accounts, okay, that's not in arrears or anything,
Yeah.
it will still be accounted for as part of expenses.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So it's always good now for, especially in the
ANC.
that people we handle our accounts very well there, from both
Yes,
sides.
definitely.
Cool. I'll also take a question from Mula, as you said, with regards to property refinancing, you mentioned it only applies to fully paid properties. Is that amount only given if one wants to buy property, or one can use the amount to do other things?
It's not necessarily meant for purchasing another property. No, you can do as you please with that money.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you can be able to do whatever that it all depends on what you want to do with that process.
Definitely.
Okay, cool. Now I just want to, obviously, we take it out from just the technicalities of it. So normally we do the scenarios, right? So I'm just going to give you 3 scenarios, and obviously just from your advice, what one will do. So basically, you will have somebody in their early 20s, and then you have somebody in their 30s, and then you have somebody in their 60s, So just obviously giving advice there in terms of what they can do. So if somebody is in their 20s, what are the things they could be doing, obviously to be able to get a bond? Is there certain things that they need to be doing? I know you probably were in the 20s. I don't know how old you are now. And somebody who's in their 30s, if you can also provide them with some highlights there. And then, somebody who is in the 60s as well. So what are the things that they could do? Can they still get a bond? What can they do? But maybe just provide us with some, advice there before we are able to close it out.
Okay, so let's start with the 20-year-old.
Yeah.
That is your prime time where you just want to spend. Rather don't.
Yeah.
Don't be a fool. Rather save. In case you don't qualify for 100% bond, then you've got a deposit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
The 30-year-old, they just need to maintain their credit and make sure that their current accounts are up to date.
Yeah.
And obviously, like I said earlier on, affordability.
Okay.
Major. Yeah. 60. Ooh. That one, obviously, you cannot give a 60-year-old a 20-year term loan because of the age.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of nitty-gritties with regards to that. A lower term will be taken into consideration, which means the higher interest rates.
Okay.
And you obviously have to have policies in place, life policies, because anything can happen. Yeah.
But they can still be able to get a bond. So
yes,
it's not.
But it will be like for 60, it will probably be like 10 years, even less than 10 years.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Fantastic. Wonderful. So Joelene, I think you let me just, I have another one. Maybe we can take one more. I'm permanently employed and my salary is 11,000 before deduction. I have a loan which I had to take out for my studies. I paid 2,000 for it. can I still qualify to buy property?
Okay, so it's 11,000 after deductions?
Before deductions.
Okay.
Yeah.
And okay, so yes, the client can apply.
Okay.
It's her first time or his first time applying. So the
Yeah.
shortfall can be done by FLISP.
Okay.
It all depends on the ITC and
Yeah.
the score.
Okay.
So that's why I stress with clients that the first step is ITC and affordability. Because I'll say it again, each client is accredited differently, and that affects your interest rate as well.
Yeah.
So yes, definitely that the person that sent that message can definitely apply.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Wonderful. So yeah, so I think because we have run out of time, so definitely in terms of, I think maybe what you can also do, Joelene.
Can I? Sorry, Gavin. I saw
Yeah.
a message about government.
Yes.
Can you just read that one for me, please?
As a government employee, what are the benefits of the, I think, GEHS partnership with SA Home Loans?
Okay, so yes, we hunt for government workers. Sorry, Gavin. Yes, but SA Home Loans hunts for government workers. We are very lenient when it comes to crediting the score. So yes, you can be in the 500s.
Yeah.
They get a 1% discount on the interest rates.
Okay.
If they do have a default or a judgment under the amount of 20,000 with the payment arrangement, we can still help them. So that client, please contact me.
All right, cool. Yeah, I think then let's maybe try and then maybe get to the last one from Luazi as well. It says, if one has an access amount with the financial institution and upon purchasing the house was bought below market value, and that's the amount registered on the bond. However, the house is valued above the registered amount. With the recent COVID pandemic, can one be able to access the difference?
Absolutely. Yeah. It also depends on how long has the clients have their bond. Okay. In most cases, you can only access it after 12 months. Right. But I'm sure if they can phone their financial institution, definitely they can access that amount, and they will not be paying on it because it was registered at that higher amount. So there is an access amount where they can. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Fantastic. No, man, Joelene, I think from my side, really, I think you just open our eyes, from the finance aspect of it when it comes to home loans, because I think, as I said, home loans for me plays a critical part in creating wealth. So maybe just from your side, giving us just the parting shots, maybe some of the advice that you can still give, and then be able to provide people with your contact details in terms of how do they contact you.
So you would like my contact details?
Yes, you can give them. Yeah.
Okay. So my phone number is 082 44 30 228. I'm available 24/7.
Yeah.
My email address is Joelene, JOELENE, S for sugar, at sahomeloans.com.
All right. Maybe if you can repeat that again so that people get it.
Okay. My number is 082 44 30 228. My email address is Joelene, JOELENES, at sahomeloans.com.
Yeah. Okay, wonderful. No, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much from the bottom of our heart for you to agree to do this. I know that it's hot, the seat. we truly appreciate it. And this video is jealous, but it's okay. I think everybody have heard the information that you have provided. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart that you were willing to do this. So thank you so much. All right.
Thank you for having me, Gavin, and thanks to everybody that listened. And I hope that my information actually helped.
Yeah, no, definitely. And yeah, so just wanna Remind everybody again, the book is available. Please get yourself a copy. Only 200 Rand. If I'm able to send it to you anywhere you are in South Africa, you'll be able to get it. And yeah, amazing, amazing content. Changed my life. It will change your life. So as I said, all these episodes that we are doing, they are within my YouTube channel. So you can go there, Gav Talks Property and Finances. So we're able to get it. Please subscribe. Please tell everybody to subscribe as well. Call the neighbor out, to say, please subscribe to that channel, because there is a lot of content that we are pushing there. And as I say, next week, it's coming up. We're going to be able to do property investing. We'll be talking about that specifically for Stockfells. And as I said, there'll be an amazing lady who will be joining me, and she will be talking around town planning. So if you're thinking about multi-let, what zoning do you do? What applications do you do? You need to be able to check that out. And yeah, so we're still going to decide whether it's going to be dinner or we're still going to be doing lunch. So I definitely enjoyed lunch today. I hope that you did as well. So yeah, so I hope that everybody has an amazing and incredible afternoon. Like the song that I just played by Shelly Caesar, starting all over again. You might be going through tough times. You might be going through all of the stuff around coronavirus, but you know what? You can start all over again. It is not over, until God says it's over. So yeah, Gavin Mkabela, I'm signing out, and I'll see you on the flip side.